seeing justice, and I do feel like this has taken a little while. I think there has been some unfair gossip or some judging from people who didn't want to believe the information available to them, or who weren't like seeing the writing on the wall. So this could be you were telling people or trying to get people to see the truth of a person's character or about a situation, who was involved and what happened, and nobody believed you. Or there could be something about your own innocence that people questioned, and now we have some data, we have some evidence, and it's proving you right. So the Justice card says, a wrong is unredressed when retribution overtakes its redresser. It is equally unrepressed when the avenger fails to make himself felt as such to him who has done the wrong. So there was a miscarriage of justice, or there was maybe just like the court of public opinion made a decision and they were wrong. Now they're going to have to right that wrong. We have the Two of Paws or the Two of Pentacles. I became insane with long intervals of horrible sanity. So sometimes people, they get uncomfortable. They fear what they don't understand. And so often we'll get outcasts or people who are considered outsiders merely because they're willing to accept some truth long before everyone else is willing to. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Hello, Famous Seamus. Hello, April. How we doing? If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member and also how to find my Etsy page if you would like to own one of my candles. Hello, Constantine. How you doing today? Let's see what else we've got for you. We're going to get a few from the Charles Dickens Tarot. What else do we have? Good morning, Lee. How are you doing today? Oh, I'm so proud of you. Will I make it? I have so much faith in you. Anyone out there in the live chat, if you are able to send your supportive, encouraging energy to Lee, I would very much so appreciate that. But anyone out there that is looking to make a change to improve your health, such as no longer vaping, I salute you. I send you a big high five and a hug if you like hugs. But Lee, I've added you to the list. Thank you for the tip. And hello, Diesel. Thank you for being a member for 10 months. I appreciate you. Hello, Aubrey. How are you doing today? All right. What else do we have? Judgment. Okay. Ebenezer Scrooge, which I feel like I just drew this one recently, but probably one of his most famous characters, right? As far as the land of Charles Dickens. Ebenezer Scrooge has some issues with greed. Ebenezer Scrooge is shown the past and I guess the future too, right? Is this how you want to continue to be, or do you want to make some changes? So we could have, this reading could apply to you witnessing someone go through a transformation such as Ebenezer Scrooge, or you yourself could be the person who went through a transformation and people don't want to believe it. There is absolutely something here about public perception being negative and something to do with greed. We have the Crumley's Strolling Players. This is the Three of, hold on, I think this is the Three of Swords. Let's see. I don't often reference the books for the tarot decks, but this is one of those where, I'm sorry, y'all, I do not have all of Charles Dickens' stuff memorized. 3, I think that's the 3 of Swords. Oh, no, it's not. Is it water? It is water. Okay. So that's the 3 of Cups. Master Crumleys, Vincent Crumleys, Mr. Curdles. These are the characters in the book of Nicholas Nickleby. Mr. Snivellecci. I probably said that wrong. Don't judge me. Or judge me, that's fine. Hello, Carrie. How are you doing? Hello, Dino. I hope you're having a good day. So this card, the 3 of Water or 3 of Cups, the shorthand is listed as what fun, harmony, solicitation, love's labors won, healing ills through happiness, manna from heaven, meaningless diversion, somewhat indulgent, exploitation of emotion, amusement, gift of the muses. You get the point, right? Some partying energy. Value of an enterprise conceived in love. What? Sociability, shared interests, some anger at having to share the limelight. I love this deck. Okay, so look. I think we got a party, okay? I think we have a birthday party or a graduation or a family reunion. Maybe it's celebrating, I don't know, anniversary. But we have a collection of people. We have a gathering of people. And these individuals are looking at you or someone you're dealing with harshly and not anticipating or understanding or accepting that this person has made changes in their life. So we still have some harsh judgments coming from the crowd, assuming that this individual has not made any changes. So it kind of feels to me like it's almost like a coming out party. Like, you all think I'm a jerk. You all think I'm super greedy. But I'm going to introduce you to the new me. I'm going to show you that I have changed. Okay. So we have maybe like a big reveal. Portal number 39. Originality, idealism, progression, opening, and accessing. Yeah, I think this is a big reveal. And then we have higher education, knowledge, beliefs, and wisdom with the Apprentice card. So this looks to me like we've got someone who has learned a lesson. I realize now that I have mistreated people, or I realize now why you all looked at me that way or didn't really like me. But I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm going to send out bonuses to the people that work for me, or I'm going to approve all those vacation requests. What do we want? I think we got someone who is, it's like there's a second lease on life, more optimistic approach after they have this conversation or this reality check. It could be someone was accused of a crime falsely, or, you know, they were actually innocent, and when they are proven innocent, this person is like, okay, well, now I have to act differently because I'm so thankful that things turned out the way that I wanted them to. There is a significant pivot from a negative, greedy, self-absorbed energy to that of somebody who wants to be, I feel like they're throwing a big party, someone who wants to be generous. Ten of Swords, Page of Swords, and the Two of Swords in the reverse. So no longer do I want to be known as a party pooper or somebody who just stays to themselves or is greedy. I want to be more like that pillar of the community type, or the kind of person that is going to donate to the local schools and libraries, right? Hello, sunflowers. How are you doing? Hello, Julian. Hello, Real Nova. Thank you, Carrie. Hello, Diane. How's your day? Happy Friday, Rachel. I hope you're having a good day. So a change of heart, a transformation, the end of an era. This person has decided that they no longer want to do things the way they did before. They've decided to change their approach to the people around them. Even though there are a lot of people who walked on eggshells around them, hoping to not upset them or, remain in their good graces. Now we have someone who is showing genuine concern and care for the people around them. So yesterday you were invisible to me. You were just a number. You were just an employee, or, someone who I had to send benefits to, whatever. Now I see you as a person. Now I have empathy, or now I am understanding the nuances of your life and not just how it impacts my own. I'm happy for you, Rachel. Hello, Lynn. How are you doing today? What else? 10 of Pentacles. The Empress in the reverse. And the 7 of Swords in the reverse. So now that I have had some reality check that makes it clear I've been selfish, or makes it clear that, the way I've been living my life, it's not how I want to do it. They are being maybe even a little bit harsh on themselves, but it's like I've got some dues that are owed. I have hoarded things for myself, or not been very generous of my time or my energy, or, if they own a business and they pay people money, a salary, then I haven't been very generous with that either. This is someone who understands that they need to give back because they have taken too much for themselves. I think it was George Bernard Shaw, might be wrong here, but I think it was George Bernard Shaw who said, I can only be in one room at a time. What use do I have for a 10-room house? We've got the 7 of Cups in the reverse, the Hermit in the reverse, and the 5 of Swords in the reverse. I'm going to make it up to everybody. Hey, I'm sorry that I insulted you. Hey, I'm sorry that I declined to promote you. I'm sorry that I evicted you. I don't know. This is someone who has money, who has been greedy, and now they're handing out turkeys at Thanksgiving, or they're handing out gift cards, Visa gift cards. Hey, remember that time I was a total tool last year? Super sorry about that. Does this make up for it? Just a little bit? Does that help a little bit? Hello, what's up, Lemonade? Hello, Peter. How are you doing? Ace of Wands. 6 of Wands in the reverse, and the Moon in the reverse. I mean, much like the Scrooge character, it kind of seems to me like we have somebody who had a prediction made, or, maybe they really did have a dream. And it demonstrated that when you expect or feel entitled to more and more and more, or you do not have a generous bone in your body, then at some point things are going to kind of crash in on you. That's just, I don't know. I think that's how it goes. So this was somebody who had a pretty deep message delivered to them of, if you keep acting the way that you are currently acting, you are not going to have anybody that cares about you. You are not going to have anybody that wants to work for you. You are not going to have anybody that shows up on your birthday. You are not going to have anything. They might have even been shown your business is going to go, you know, in the crapper. You have to change your life or things will be bad. That's what this person was told. And they got the message loud and clear and they're like, okay, you're right. I don't need 700 pairs of cowboy boots. I could probably be a little bit more like charitable. So there is rapid change for this person. A big red flag, hey, you're headed, you know, right off a cliff, so maybe you should change direction with your life. And this person's like, okay, if that's what I need to do, then that is what I will do. This is the Egyptian Tarot. Hello, Jamaica. How are you doing today? We have the stars. Ace of Cups in the reverse. And the Two of Swords in the reverse. So this is someone who's deciding to heal what has been wrong. To accept that life is more than just what you own or the assets or like what your portfolio looks like or, you know, how expensive your car is. This is a person who is being encouraged to reconsider the abundance in life that is not tied to finances. The abundance such as health or the wealth of friends. This is someone who was really just a little too focused on things like year over year or balance sheet. Page of Wands in the reverse, Knight of Wands in the reverse, and the Nine of Cups in the reverse. So a message comes through to this, what are we calling you? Hermit in the reverse? The Hermit in the reverse is getting some sort of like big flashing neon sign that says, you are going to get to a point where you regret how you lived your life, or you are going to get to a point where you lose all the things that you consider to be important if you don't re-examine your life, if you don't take a look at how it is that you're dealing with people and what you're doing wrong. So also some similarity with the movie The Family Man with Nicolas Cage. Ooh, which is especially interesting because that Charles Dickens reference was Nicholas Nickery or something like that. What is the book? I don't think I've ever heard of it. Hold on. I gotta do Mr. Dickens better than that. It was of water, right? Where are you? Nickleby. My apologies. Charles Dickens. Nicholas Nickleby. You know, nice little alignment with Nicolas Cage. And in that Family Man movie, he sees his life if he had been more interested in like the softer things in life, right? Like having a family, being at home, having a house that they share, right? What's up, Dracula? How you doing? Yeah, you know, sometimes we are the ones who have to acknowledge, like look in the mirror and be like, hey, that's something that I need to change. If you don't challenge yourself to make changes along the way, then how do you expect to grow and have like improvements, right? You can't just expect everybody else to change. That's lame. So we've got the High Priestess in the reverse, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. So my relationship with money or the way that I deal with family, the priorities that are at the top of my list, I've done that wrong. High Priestess in the reverse. I saw things the wrong way. But now I see that I can change. I can prioritize things differently and salvage, like whatever I have left in my life, I can live it differently, right? What up, J-Lo? How are you doing today? Christine's feelings? Now that you are back in contact. Awesome. I've added that for you. Thank you, J-Lo. And we're at 20 and a half minutes. Lemonade, you crack me up. Hello, Sri. How are you doing? Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Hello, Danny. How's your day? It's only a matter of time, right, Lemonade? Is this the whack-a-mole mallet on my side? What else? We have Judgment in the reverse, the Two of Cups, Five of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. So basically, we've got someone who they have treated others as like an afterthought. They have not been generous with their family. They've not been generous with their employees. They've not been generous with their friends. They've been very me, right? They're regretful looking back on the things that they have lost, such as friendships or lovers, maybe even connections with like their own children, because of their fixation on money or frugality or wealth accumulation. Hello, Dua. How you doing today? What else do we have? The Emperor, the Page of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, and the Moon. I'm going to be a real boss and lead by example. I'm going to step into my power and turn over a new leaf, and I'm going to be a pillar of the community or be a role model instead of somebody who just thinks about themselves. What are we even doing if we cannot foster or support concepts like mutual aid or community, being there for each other, right? If we really are just every man for themselves, we lose a lot. So we've got an understanding hitting this person maybe a little bit late in life, that life is richer or it is more enjoyable when you aren't all about the money, right? All about the Benjamins. This Moon, I feel like this is the other side of themselves that maybe had been a bit dormant. Feels to me like there was something that happened in their teenage years or formative years that led to this Hermit in the reverse feeling like they had to kind of keep things for themselves. So there could have been, maybe there was a house fire and they lost everything they owned. Maybe there was someone that stole everything that they had when they were 19 and they've had to claw their way back up to where they were. There's a reason this person initially started out as being kind of like, I have to keep things for myself, but they took it too far and they got, like, they reclaimed what they had, and then they kept being that like kind of selfish, greedy, everything's for me, when they didn't need to be. Hello, Gnostic. How are you doing? Thank you. Yay for the threes. I like it. This is Under the Oak. What else do we have? Queen of Swords in the reverse. Temperance in the reverse. Three of Swords. And the Ten of Swords in the reverse. I didn't realize that everybody looked at me as a Queen of Swords in the reverse. A Queen of Swords in the reverse would be somebody who is known for being a bit bristly, being a bit acerbic, difficult, cantankerous, critical, not very cuddly, okay? Maybe also very wise, very astute. You know what you're doing. You've created something out of nothing. But with Temperance in the reverse, it's like I could never be settled down. I could never be content. I could never feel like I, achieved what I wanted to. So, sometimes what we need to deal with in our lives is a sense of never feeling like you've gotten where you needed to be or never being happy. We've got to be able to find joy in the little things in life. I think that's a big part of why it's so important to get outside and enjoy nature whenever you can, because it helps us to put things in perspective, right? I think that's why I like mountains. They're so big and giant, and it reminds me that I'm just like, kind of like a little speck on the planet, and the problems that I'm facing, they're surmountable. They're not as big as the mountains, right? Hello, William. How are you doing? Hello, Redbeard. I never said I was sane. Oh, William, I hope that you see in your heart that at some point the other direction might be calling your name. Hello, Bearcat. How are you doing? Hello, Gab. What's up today? What are Alice's thoughts about me? Planning anything? I have added that. Thank you, Gab. So look, this is someone who has had a sense of betrayal or difficulty in their youth that made them like overcompensate, made them feel like they had to go way to the other side so that they would never again be, poor or without or not have a place to stay. And that grew up into a level of greed. Will that help a little bit? A little bit, okay. What else? Hey, Two, how you doing today? Thank you, Gab. What else? The Chariot, the Two of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, Lovers in the reverse, and the Knight of Swords. So I'm taking a different path. I'm finding a different way to feel good about what I've accomplished. It doesn't have to be I've accumulated more things, right? I have more things in my garage. I have more toys. I have more dollars. I have more whatever, clothes. Now I'm seeing that maybe there's something I can do that is a little bit more productive or a little bit more reflective of what is needed at this time. I think we have someone who's literally coming up with an idea for a charity or deciding to be more generous in their business with the people that work for them. They're giving back. They're identifying a way to make a change or have some positive impact instead of just, hey, how many monies can I get? How many dollars can I make off this project? How many stocks can I accumulate? We have the Lovers in the reverse and the Knight of Swords. So they're addressing this thing that maybe long ago they chose to be a little bit ridiculous about. They're addressing this like shortfall of emotional energy or connection to other humans, because the reality is they don't really have that. Just lighting more candles, nothing to see here, it's fine. Hello, Priyanka, how are you doing today? Let me write that down for you. Can I ask, how's the situation with a family person? How is situation with family person? And how are they feeling now? Towards me and family. Are they owning up and making changes? I sure hope so. It seems like that's the theme of this reading, so I would love to hear or find out that this is extending to your family. Hello, Grindhard. How you doing? Happy Friday. Hey, Gnostic. I do make my own candles. It's just cheaper that way, but honestly, it's also because I didn't realize that paraffin wax is so bad for the environment or bad for my health, and I light them all day, you know. This is one of my candles. There's 4 different scents on Etsy, and there is a link in my description box. I think it's the second blurb down in my description box that takes you to my Etsy page if you want to check them out. My personal favorite is the coffee and cream. I don't drink coffee. I'm not a coffee person. In fact, I like when I smell like coffee ice cream, I'm like, bleh. But I love the coffee and cream candle. Just saying. That's my favorite. And I might come out with some new scents. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Oh, thank you, Rachel. The candles are infused with the tears of the trolls. I like it. Any spicy kind. So the 4 are butterscotch maple cream, coffee and cream, lavender, and fireside fir, like F-I-R, so like a piney scent. I do not have a spicy one, but I don't know. There have been a couple that I've been contemplating. Gnostic. Hello, Frank. How are you doing? Hello, Nathan. I hope you're having a good day. Thank you, Frank. So this is What's the News. I'm just going to pull a few, and then we got to start on those personal questions, okay, y'all? So we've got penny pinching, financial struggle, saving up, budgeting. The people around this hermit in the reverse have had to tiptoe around for fear that they would upset this hermit in the reverse about the levels to which they have had to scrimp and not be able to like afford everything because they aren't getting paid what they should be. Conversely, or alternatively, this could be the hermit in the reverse being a bit obnoxious with their frugality in a relationship or in the management of a family. They have the coin purse, okay? They have control of the budget. And this has been a problem for how people get paid or whether or not people get what they need or whether or not this person's even interacted in a romantic setting or had a family. Maybe they've just been like, you know, Scrooge, super focused on the business. So we have reading up, honeymooning, and harmony. So someone, maybe in this hermit's dreams, maybe it's an actual person that works with them or loves them, and it says, we're going to sit down and have a little chat here about how you live in your life. I'm going to show you some statistics about what lies ahead or what awaits you. Maybe, just maybe, what you should do is think about life differently and appreciate that maybe you could fall in love with someone, or maybe you could salvage your relationship, or maybe you could do something nice for the people that make your life work, and it'll bring you some peace. Yeah, I like this. We got somebody who's saying, okay, Captain, I know I need to make some changes. I need to like actually look at other people around me as individuals or other people, or not just be like best friends with money. All right, let's dive into personal questions. We've got Lee up first. Hello, Callan. How are you doing? Oh, enjoy your beer, J-Lo. Rachel is correct. I'm not much for alcohol these days. I might have like a margarita or a beer like once a year. It's not really my thing. Oh, I hope you're staying cool, Priyanka. Let me be a little more intentional with that, you guys. All right, so Lee's question is about vaping. And again, I'm proud of you, Lee. Will Lee make it? She is 18 hours into no vape. Will Lee make it? There's going to be a hiccup along the way, Lee. There's going to be a fallback into like going back to it. Maybe you like find an old one somewhere after you thought you threw everything out. Maybe there's just someone who offers you some of theirs. But then I see you snapping back. It's almost like the error of doing it again is what really solidifies it for you. Ugh, that tastes awful. Or, ugh, that's making me cough again. Or I really don't want this expense. I don't want to go back to that. So yes, there might be a little hiccup. There might be a little, you know, oops, shouldn't have done that. But I see it making you more vehement in your decision to quit it. You're like, wait a second. I don't want this like back and forth. I like the idea of not having to worry about whether or not I have that or whether or not I have the money for it. I like the idea of saving that money. And it's better for my health. Maybe you even remind yourself of, you know, what example am I setting for others? But I see you grounding yourself after initially like, dang it, Lee, what are you doing? You might get a little harsh on yourself. Don't waste too much energy yelling at yourself because you're going to bounce right back. And then with the Queen of Pentacles, I see you being like real grounded in this. Like, I know that I'm happy or I know that things will be better without this. So will you make it? Yes. But you have to be able to forgive yourself for a momentary lapse or a little bit of a whoopsies. You'll be fine, and I believe in you. Let's see what we've got for J-Lo. This is the Meta Muse. Hey, Carla, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm so happy when you all are super supportive and encouraging like that in the live chat. Thank you for doing that. Oh, Lemonade, that was great. Thanks for stopping by. I get dizzy where there's too much blood in my alcohol stream. Oh, Redbeard. I'm doing well, thank you, Carla. So for J-Lo, Christine's feelings. What are Christine's feelings now that we're back in contact? How's Christine feeling? Eight of Wands, the Hanged Man, Queen of Swords in the reverse, Strength in the reverse. The number 8 is important. We've got 8 of Wands, Strength, and the 8 of Pentacles. But we also have the Sun in the reverse, the King of Swords, and the Ten of Swords in the reverse. There's some indecisiveness here. The Hanged Man is someone who sees things differently. Okay, so maybe I was too harsh on you, or, you know, maybe I really do care about you more than I expected. But I don't really like that we have this Queen of Swords in the reverse. It feels to me like there's either she's like being harsh on herself for giving in to temptation and talking to you, or it's like she's in her mind just waiting for you to mess up. It's like, I don't anticipate a good ending from this. I'm just giving into it kind of thing. Sun in the reverse, King of Swords. But this could be because Christine doesn't know where your head's at. So I do feel like communication is obviously super important right now in terms of expressing or sharing, giving insight into your current view, your current perception of the situation, or even just your mindset. What's important to you? What are you prioritizing, right? So the Eight of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords in the reverse suggests right now there's a negative mindset or an expectation that things will fail. Like I gave into temptation and I'm probably going to regret it. But that's because she doesn't know where your mindset is. And when you put in your effort to explaining that, or when you demonstrate what's going on from your perspective, then there's going to be an opportunity to address or recover from that negative perception. I would compare it to, at the end of an interview, what I like to do is say, is there anything in our conversation today or about, like, from my resume that gives you pause or makes you consider hiring me to be a likely mistake that I could address right now, that I could just, talk through just in case there's a misconception? This is like that. What is it that's bothering you? Or is there something you want to talk about? Let's get it out there. Let's hash it out. There's fear that she's not expressing or negativity, but you have the ability to talk through it. So I think you're going to. All right. Let's see. Good luck, JLo. Let's see what we've got for Gab. What are Al's thoughts about Gab? Oh my goodness. That Chucky sounds dangerous. Hello, SI, how are you doing? Hello, Third Eye. Y'all are funny. All right, what are Al's thoughts about Gab, please? King of Wands. Four of Pentacles in the reverse. King of Swords in the reverse, Ace of Wands, and the Page of Swords in the reverse. Is this that Al thinks Gab is talking to someone new? So Al is expecting to be disappointed. Al is expecting that maybe you've been dishonest or that you are keeping things from Al, and that even though there might be some interest or some flirtation or some reconnection, that there is like hidden grudges or resentment, or I don't know if this is really going to work out. I feel like you're talking to someone about the situation negatively or talking about me negatively, or this is Al thinking that you are interested elsewhere, that this isn't really that important to you. With the Page of Swords in the reverse, I feel like there is a tendency for Al to see things wrong. I don't know if Al is paranoid or insecure, but I do think that there is negativity here that is skewing things unfairly. And it's tied to whether or not Al feels empowered to make changes or get the outcome that Al wants. Is Al planning anything? Hey, Hannah, how are you doing? We have the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. Yes, Al is planning something. Two of Wands in the reverse, Knight of Wands. The problem is I don't know that he's the best at planning this kind of thing. There seems to be a little bit of a hiccup or a roadblock here, or someone is making plans kind of hastily. But I do feel like there is a specific like conversation. Like I have something I want to tell you. I feel like I have to say this to you. So yeah, there's plans. It might not be fully like thought out. All right, let's see what we've got for Priyanka. This is the Golden Art Nouveau. Thank you for the sunshine, Hannah. Oh, good for you. I hope you have some nice weather. Hello, Patak. How are you doing? You're welcome, Gab. All right, so how is the situation with Priyanka's family person? We have the Hierophant. Queen of Swords and the Four of Wands. This to me is about order, hierarchy, morals, beliefs. If this is how it's done, then this is how it's done. If this is what is expected of me, if this is how people do it, then that's what I have to do. So I don't know that it's necessarily what somebody wants to do, but we have someone trying to do what is expected of them. We have the Knight of Swords in the reverse and the Two of Wands. But then there's like a lapse in this judgment, or there is a change. It's like all of a sudden we have a person who's acting impulsively. So I'm trying to do what is expected of me, or I'm trying to do the right thing, and then all of a sudden it's like, screw it, I'm just going to do what I want. So giving in, losing a little bit of control here. How do they feel now towards Priyanka and the family? World in the reverse, Tower in the reverse, Eight of Pentacles, Empress in the reverse, and the Four of Pentacles. Like this is a never-ending problem and a lot of work. I feel like I have to do something different. They are looking at this as like I've taken the wrong approach. It's too exhausting, or it's too, like it's not getting me anywhere. I'm seeing someone on one of those bikes where you can pedal as fast as you want, but you're not really going anywhere. We have the Empress in the reverse and the Four of Pentacles. So it's like, I feel like you have held back from me so that I have to work harder. Which to me seems kind of like gray rocking, or like you haven't made it easy for this person to be difficult, is what I'm picking up on. Are they owning up and making changes? Yes. This is still a work in progress, but with the Page of Pentacles, I see some hesitant devotion or dedication to maybe I was doing things the wrong way. Maybe I like made this more difficult than it needed to be. Okay, wait, what's the question? Is it about like Easter candy? If we're talking about Easter candy, because I see Cadbury cream egg, those are pretty good. Robin's eggs are like, I could eat an entire bag of those things in like 10 minutes. Hello, Ren, how's it going? Otherwise, other Easter candy. Not really big on Peeps, although maybe I have to try the Dr. Pepper ones just for funsies. I don't know. Just like in general, you guys, I'm not big on chocolate. I like it, but there has to usually be some sort of like fruit filling or peanut butter, something to complement it. I like white chocolate better than regular. Okay, so basically, yes, Priyanka, we have someone who's working on their change, working on being different, more amenable, workable, like I can compromise. But they're getting the picture. The most important thing about this message seems to be, I see things differently. I see that maybe there are things that I was wrong about, and I was real convinced I was right about them, but I might have actually been wrong about them. And that's important, right? Acceptance of the reality of the situation and what actually happened between you and everybody else, right? Yes, or carrot cake with chocolate. Hello, John. How are you doing? Yeah, apparently they're out there, Hannah. Hello, Danielle. Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday. To barbecue Pringles. I mean, I like barbecue flavoring, but I like the weirder Pringles. I don't know. Maybe branch out a little bit, Redbeard. Third Eye. I was expecting you to be a little bit weirder. Like, don't they have some, like... Ooh, they had the ones from Hot Ones. Like the salsa. There was a green one that I liked, and then there was a red one that made me stabby. Like, don't make me eat another one of those. It was too hot. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys. Thank you for talking with me about Easter candy and Pringles. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for checking out my candles, and I will see you on the next